everyone, it's John, your Indian Cine-MANIAC, back with another 10ish-minute review. So I recently went to the theater to watch Jawan with SRK. So I really liked that film. I loved going to the theater. And I just did a review on a goofy movie, to Shine, I think it was called, that I still like, but it was very goofy. So I decided last night, I was scrolling through my queue and Swades came up. Now, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right because I've always pronounced it Swades, but I don't think it's Swades. I think it's Swadish. I'm hoping. And I know if I'm wrong, you will correct me in the comment section. But it was between this and a man named My Name is Khan, because I wanted to see SRK in a movie that he wasn't his bigger than life personality. I wanted to see some real acting. And I'm happy to say I saw it in this one. So before I get to that, as always, a reminder, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification button, smash that like button, and please share if you think anyone else would enjoy this content. So let's talk about Swades, which was made in 2004. It was directed by the same person who directed Lagan with my favorite actor, Aamir Khan. Ashutosh Gowariker. Ashutosh Gowariker. So him. And it kind of had a little bit of that look to it, I kind of thought. It stars SRK, obviously. Gayatri Joshi, who I understand didn't do much, and I thought she was wonderful in this film. Kishori Balal, who played his closest thing to a mother he had, who I thought was wonderful. Rajesh Vivek, who was in Lagan, and I can't even read my own writing. Bayashakar Pandey, who was also in Lagan, who are wonderful in this film. So the movie opens up with a quote from Gandhi, and then it shows you Washington, D.C., where SRK is working. And he works for NASA. And apparently, this was the first film to be able to shoot at the Kennedy Space Center in Florida, the first Indian film. And it was very, they were in the hangar with the shuttle. It was very cool. And it was an interesting way to start. So he wants to go find his, the person he's closest to, because he lost his parents, and this woman who's his surrogate mother. So he decides to go back to India to find her and surprise her. So he makes the trip to India, and he's going. He ends up in Charanpur, which is a little village. But his trip, he gets an RV, and he's driving, and he picks somebody up, and that's the first song. And I actually, look, I'll say this since you only watch about 4 minutes of this anyway. I've seen a lot with Shah Rukh Khan, and this was the first film I saw where he played like a real grounded person. And none of the, I mean, in his movies, he's so big and he's so charming. And he was charming in this too, but it was a different role for him. It was much more real. Nothing, he did do the arm thing in the first song, but it wasn't the typical stuff, the designer clothing, the fancy sunglasses, it wasn't like that. He was really, really good in this, I got to tell you. And the change that he goes through this movie was done really, really well by him. So it is the first, and I've really liked him in the movies I've seen. This was by far his best acting performance, in my opinion. And I would put that up there with if Aamir Khan got cast in this, and I think he was originally offered the role, but found the role boring. So I thought he was wonderful in this. I thought the movie was wonderful. And I can't even imagine being someone from India watching this, and the way it talks about the caste system and him going back to tradition, and originally not just wanting to go back to America because he had it so good there, and then slowly realizing what's missing out of his life is what this little village with no electricity, no water, backwards because there's no tech. But but no one in the village seems to really mind. It's not a perfect movie. Now, look, I have come to understand these movies are long, but there were parts in this movie that dragged, and I did like most of the musical numbers, not all. I think there were too many and they were too long. Um, but those are really, that's really my only complaint about the movie, because the payoff in the end was just really satisfying. And again, he was wonderful in this. Nothing, no wink and a nod, just a real person. You believe this guy was the real person. So that's just my initial thought on it. So they drive in the RV. He picks up a hitchhiker. That's when the first song starts, and it's played on the radio. And I thought it was really cute. It wasn't one of these over the top Bollywood big production numbers. It's just two guys having a good time with the radio. I loved it. I thought it was really interesting. He did do the arm thing when he was up on the hill, so I was looking for that. So the movie was about the education system, the caste system, and really, in Jawan, he must have hit 5 different social things he wanted to attack, and this one he hit 2 hard: the lack of education and the caste system, where certain people were ostracized from the village and they just accepted it because that's the way things have been done, and that's the way they'll always be done. And SRK really shakes things up. So I enjoyed that, and there were some great scenes. And this phrase NRI, I've never heard that phrase before in any of the Indian movies we've watched, but that's not returning Indian. So that's people who leave India, maybe go to the States, maybe go to England, I don't know, but don't go back to India because they want the luxury of living in these other countries and what that provides for them. So I never heard that before. And his character was an NRI. So then they do this, they watch this movie, which I love the fact that the villagers got together to watch this film. And I thought, because I saw a picture of Aamir Khan when he was a kid, and the movie they showed featured him as a kid. I don't know how old he was when he made that film, but I knew it was him. At least I thought it was him. And then when I read it afterwards, I saw it was him. So he still made it in the film. So that's why, another reason why this film is so good. Anyway, I thought that scene was really wonderful. And then when the projector died, and he gets up and starts trying to get everyone to use their imagination, looking up to the sky at the stars and finding the plow. I thought that was wonderful. I thought that scene was really well done. And that was the second song. Again, really good. The scene that I thought had the most impact, and the way he played it, I thought it was his best acting in the film, was when he went to meet the farmer who owed his surrogate mom rent. And she sent him there for a reason. He was going to collect. He took a train, then he took a boat, and they had to go a long way. And he was with his partner, Meloram, who with SRK was going to form the Meloram Eatery in the United States. He was funny. So they go there, and the farmer explains why he can't pay the rent. And I don't know who this person is. I don't know this actor. I don't even know if this person's an actor, because the person who played the farmer just seemed like absolutely a real person and not any kind of performance. And he's explaining that he was a weaver and no one weaves anymore, and his crops died. But the look on SRK's face when he's telling the story, it was amazing, because he said it all with his face. And then at the end, he gave him money. But it was a wonderful, powerful scene. And then there was a scene where they met another family who couldn't send their kids to school because the caste system wouldn't allow it. Again, and you could see throughout the movie chipping away at his feeling about being there. And then the final nail in the coffin, as it were, where he's in the train and there's a young boy selling glasses of water. And again, you could see the look on his face, like, this is what it's come to, that we have to sell glasses of water to survive. And that's kind of when he makes the decision. He's going to get water. He's going to get electricity to the village. And those scenes are amazing. The whole village gets behind it. And I will tell you, that the scene where they try out the generator, so they build a reservoir with water, and they've got the pipes, and they've got this generator. The tension that they built in that scene was like in the movies where you got a bomb and it's a red wire or the green wire. Which one do you have to cut? That's what the tension was like. Now, I know nothing about hydroelectricity, but I find it really hard to believe that there was enough force of that water generated to generate electricity. Now, I could be wrong. Okay. I'm a motivational speaker. That's what I do. I'm not an engineer. So you tell me in the comment section, could that have possibly worked? It didn't matter because the scene was amazing. And when it failed the first time, and then he figures out that the pipe is clogged up and he goes running up the hill, then he comes running back down. Now it works. And this old woman is sitting in front of a bulb. The light comes on and she says, electricity. It was wonderful. Wonderful. I couldn't believe the tension. So the fourth song they did, he found Rama in his heart, which means he got in touch with, because that was a big dance number. They were praising Rama. It was great. And then the climax of the film, before he decides to go back to the village, is a shuttle launch, an actual shuttle launch, and it was beautiful. And he's in the control room, really well done scene. And then they start flashing all the things that happened when he was in the village. And that's when he decides he's going to go back. And it ends on just a wonderful scene where he's wrestling with Rajesh, who wrestled, and the whole village is surrounding him. They're shouting his name. It was wonderful. Again, I don't want to be Pollyanna because it wasn't perfect. It was too long and there were too many songs. But he was great. This was the best performance I've seen him in. And it's probably going to get me to watch My Name is Khan if it's as good as this. I also understand some of his earlier stuff is more along the lines of this before he really became that bigger than life personality. And I don't mind that. I sound like I'm criticizing that. I'm not, because I think for that, he really embraces that, and he should. That's his brand. But this was really, really well done. I'm glad I watched it, and I appreciate you guys all recommending this to me. So that's what I think about Swadish, or Swades, or Swadish, or Swadish, or Swades. So SRK has one more fan on that bandwagon now. Now, is he up with Aamir Khan? I don't know yet. I don't think I've seen enough real good performances from him to say that. Okay. But I understand why the Khans are superstars in India. And I put Salman Khan in there too. But Aamir and SRK are the real deal for completely different reasons. But I am a big fan of both. That's it. I hope you enjoyed the review. If you did, please hit the subscribe button, hit the notification button, smash that like button. Let me know what you think in the comment section. And as always, I really appreciate you guys watching. Talk to you soon.